decision 29 times the night into the game. This was somebody who knew what they were doing, they knew what they thought was wrong, and they chose to do it anyway.
Despite the viciousness of the sleigh and his subsequent trial, Seabird was charged with manslaughter, not murder.
Seabird insisted that it was a matter of self-defense. How it can be to stab someone that many times is slightly beyond it. But it did seem to go into doubt whether it was a premeditated
I think because this was a homosexual
Okay.
a lot of violence against its roots and shame.
Yeah, but you're such a good girl.
Who he was, he never accepted him because he never felt that society would accept him for his true identity. So I think this
Right behind you, I'm going to try and get into
Okay, guys, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's time to walk the dogs. I walk them at this time every morning. I do about 3 miles. I do 4 phases. And today I thought I'd take you with me. This is the season 1, episode 1 of Walking the Dogs with My Thoughts. This is the first recording. Don't know how it will go. Don't know what you can see. Just got my phone hanging from my neck. Oh. Hades is very excited, as you can probably hopefully see or maybe even hear. I'm walking up my road. Most people are probably still asleep. There's a lot of stray dogs around my village and in Cyprus in general. Hades, calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Yeah, if I rush Hades against the wall, he stops pulling. Okay. Oh, there's another little doggy there all tied up all night. Sorry for that one. Hades. Hades. There's another one in that house, tied up, left outside. Hence the barking you can hear. Whoa. Going up to the neighborhood, past the neighborhood. Okay. I have to control you, Hades. Stop it. You're getting really bad. Stop. Stop it. Another dog in that house, tied up, left outside. Big dog in this house. That one's a Rottweiler. Very beautiful dog. And it's not out there today, but they also have a pit bull that lives on their roof. He thinks it's a pigeon. Anyhow, I have to calm him down. They're on a short lead at the moment because we've not hit the jungle, or we've not hit the woods. I don't know what to call it really. In Greek we call them mandres. It's just a little bit of wild land that's cut up into sections that are given to the lucky few of the village who can go there and build stuff and do things on them. I'd love to have one. This almandra here, I don't know how it compares to others, but I think it's very, very nice. Hades, slow down, stop, slow down. Have to do a jerk on his collar. At this point, it all seems to calm down a little bit, which is good. Okay, unlike other countries, so I guess England especially, you can literally see the last house of the village, which is being renovated at the moment. Is here. We're coming literally to the last house of the village, or the outskirts. It's not a long walk, it's about half a mile so far. We've been about half a mile. If you can see that mandra there, I hope you can. Now that is a dream mandra. Or he's built a little house there, he's got his garage there, he's got his sports cars there, he's got another container he's converted into a house. That's like a dream come true to any lad. I'm hoping you can see it. I won't know until I get home. But that down there, he's even got an oven to make gleftigo, which is a very traditional type of outdoor cooking in Cyprus. Very well built. He's obviously invested a lot of money. And when I walk past of an evening, he's always got people there having cookouts and parties and music's playing. He's got the full setup as well. Anyway, good for him. I'm not jealous much. We've reached the outskirts. So all that's left here now is the road down to the power station. To my right is an industrial estate with a gym. That's the rubbish yard. We'll probably get there later. And here we are. This isn't quite a highway or a dual carriageway, but this is where the speed limit gets higher. People drive past a bit faster. The dogs slow down a bit because they're scared, because the cars scare them. It's uphill, by the way, so it's very tiring. Once we turn in there where that sign is, which says Larnaca on it, that's when I can let the dogs on the long lead so they can have a little run around. I can take them for a walk, I can have my walk. I think I'll do 4 phases today, so I can take them through the whole walk. And we can also have a little talk about what's on my mind. Not that you have any need to give a shit about what's on my mind. However, I feel the need to share. So fuck you, I'm doing it. That's the world we live in. If they go, there you go. Now they're happy. Oh, a little Amber doing the pee. Oh, Hades jerking off. Oh, good. There's Hades doing the pee and Amber running off. They try to avoid each other when they're peeing. I don't know if it's respect or they just don't like to see them peeing. And they're back together. They love to interact. Well, Amber does. Hades likes to bite her. Okay. Sun rises. This is my first milestone of the walk. You can see the sun setting over the village, and this is what we call a red field. I hope it's coming out in the video, but the earth in our village, or in this part of Cyprus, is red. And the sunshine, the sun's coming up. It's like a red sun. Not quite red, it's turning yellow because they're coming towards the end of summer. But in the height of summer, when it rises pure red, it's actually a sight to see. It's very pretty. It's like Hawaii 5-0. One thing I like to do when I'm walking is to check out the tracks. I'm not much of a tracker, and yes, I'm not sure what your definition of a tracker is. My definition of a tracker is someone who can read the ground and tell you what's happened. A lot of it is by conjecture and just by sort of guessing, but it's normally an accurate guess. All right, so this is the first entrance of the walk. This part is quite hard, so there's not a lot of tracks, but luckily here in Cyprus there's a lot of sort of soft earth and sand, and as you can see, hopefully the tracks that we're leaving, I can also see tracks from yesterday because I did this walk with the dog yesterday. However, I can see no new tracks, so I think it's safe to assume that no one really has walked along here on foot so far since my walk here yesterday. To my right is a guy who sells Christmas trees. He's got them at different sizes. They all disappear around towards the end of November, mid-December, and he grows new ones from straight after the winters, into the winter time. Again, I'm not sure what you can see, but that's the highway behind the fence. It's a big drop. We're on high ground at the moment. Another notable spot is where Amber used to live. She used to live in there, under that little bush. That's where I found her. All on her back, very sad, on her own. She was still very defiant. She wouldn't come home with me. I had to give her a little kiss and a cuddle, and she was happy to play with me, but didn't want to come home. But slowly she came home. Oh, sun is getting there, getting higher in the sky. It's not quite 6 o'clock, by the way. I lied when I first started this video. It's sort of about 10 past 6. As the sun is rising a bit later as we're coming towards the end of August. So anyway, the walk is continuing. I'm on phase 1, by the way. There's going to be 4 phases of this walk, and each one is hopefully interesting enough for me to film and to capture. By the way, we're still on high ground. Ahead of you can see the sea. That's the Mediterranean, guys. I'm going to take a little detour just to give you a view of the walk overall, just so you have an idea of the distance we're going to cover. It's going to be roughly 3 miles. So let's get to the edge of the cliff without getting too close, because I don't trust these dogs, especially Amber. All right, so there's a valley down here which we're going to go down. We're going to follow that first route down into the valley, and we're going to do a figure of 8 on the valley. We're going to come back up to the top of this valley, or the incline there. We're going to go down the middle trail. That middle trail takes us to the rabbit farm and the guy who has the racing cars. Then we're going to come back around and come back on that larger trail there where we have the beehives. Anyway, dogs are getting restless, and so am I. Right, I'm trying to capture my walk. Actually, it's not got power back on the drop because I can't bloody handle it. Oh, I'm being caught up. Poor thing. Stop it. One leg, 2 legs. She's so naughty. Funny how the naughty ones you love even more. Anyway, there they are, off together, brother and sister now. Okay, this is a very steep incline. It's actually quite nice, very invigorating in the morning to walk downhill. It's not so invigorating once you've done the rest of the walk and you want to walk back up the bastard, but there you go. Still looking for tracks. The reason why there's not one way through these mandras. There's a lot of different ways. It's a bit like a, I don't know, if you can imagine a star or a spider. There's many avenues in. So if you can't see tracks on the main entrance, you're going to see tracks from other entrances. And there's tracks here. Don't know whose they are. You're going to have to see if they're following my route. But anyway, there's some new tracks. There's some new tracks here. They seem to have just started. So I think what happened was someone drove. There you go. Someone drove here and dumped an old couch. There it is. So the tracks start when the car tracks stop, and then the couch has appeared. Lovely. Someone dumped the couch. Anyway, we're walking down that valley that I showed you earlier. I can take a little stop and point you up there. Whoop. That's where we were standing just now, looking down into this valley. And now we're literally going down into the valley. Down in the valley so low. Hang your head over, hear the winds blow. Anyway, I am recording. I don't know if I am or not. I might end up going home and realizing that all I've done is been speaking to myself for the last hour and nothing was recorded. We shall see. Anyhow, we're coming down. This is a quite steep and very dangerous incline, by the way. There's a lot of pebbles and a lot of stones. I find that it's not necessarily the stones that trip you up, the big ones, because you can see those. It's the little pebbles that just you miss seeing, especially with my limited vision. And that's when you step on them and all of a sudden you've twisted your ankle. Anyway, we're into the bottom of the valley. Oh, you can't feel it, but it's so cool down here. It's very cool. There's more signs of people dumping. Look like the bastards over here. Can't see any footprints yet. But I can definitely see a big pile of pipes that weren't there yesterday. So, another case of dumping, it looks like. Oh, I got a strong smell of oil, or petrol, some sort of mechanical piping or pipe stuff. Maybe gas, who knows. I got a feeling that it's from the power station up the road. And they couldn't be asked to dump it properly, so they just thought they'd put some toxic waste here in the mandras and no one will know. Curse them and their lazy bastard ways. It's the world we live in. Everyone wants everything to happen straight away. No one cares about being patient and enjoying life. Anyway, we're coming to a dead end, which is the beginning of the cycle that we're going to travel on the in the valley phase. So what I like to do, take this pre-prepared stick which I made earlier, bang the plastic bottle of tops and then we start our figure of 8 in the valley. In the winter, in the summertime, coming down here, it's such a pleasure because it's cool. It's literally a natural coolness. And this is probably part of the longest beach in the world, because this is actually a beach we're walking on. I'm trying to see if I can trace back what happened with these pipes using my tracking skills. I see a footprint. I can see my footprints. I can't see anyone else's. There's a new tyre track that stops right there. So it looks like they kept a hard ground, not deliberately, just by chance, and dumped everything. And turned around and drove back. Excellent. And there's a tyre tracks down there. Oh. Is there something of interest here, track-wise? Yes. Look at that. You probably can't see it, but I'm taking a chance. Snake tracks. Well, 2 types of snakes in Cyprus. The rule of thumb: if they're brown, don't hang around. If they're black, stay back, but they won't kill you. Okay. Do. So yes, here we are. How far into the walk are we? We're 0.86 of a mile. We're starting. Well, I haven't started. We have already started our figure of 8 track in the valley. We're low. We're still very low. A couple of words about the nature here. It's obviously very, very pretty. Well, I find it pretty. A lot of pine trees. Different types of pine trees, by the way. A lot of pine cone covered trees, which again is very pretty. Oh, and there you go. Caught a pebble on my bad foot. Lovely. For fuck's sake. That's going to hurt now for a day. Because I'm narrating. Anyway, when I'm really bored, I like to see my tracks. And again, I can see tracks from yesterday, for me and both the dogs. We're pretty close to the highway here, even though you can't see it. Obviously, you can hear it. Yeah, a lot of pine trees, big ones, small ones, some with big head. Nothing fruity, I'm afraid. Otherwise, it'd be nice to have a little stop off on a little bushcraft picnic from a tree or something, like a fig tree or an orange tree or an apple tree. No one's really thought about growing anything like that, but perhaps they don't grow wild. Anyway, we're still on the figure 8 walk. Let's check the ground for some tracks. No tracks. There are some. Funny how after a while you start making up, start seeing landmarks that you can follow. Well, being that it's very cold down here in the valley, there are actually a lot of snakes. And I always see snake evidence, like tracks and snake, and discarded snake skins.
Average pace 21 minutes 39 seconds per mile. Duration 21 minutes 39 seconds. You've completed 1 mile.
There you go.
Heart rate 99 beats per minute.
I've completed 1 mile, which is good. I'm looking to complete 3 miles in today's walk. So we've done our first mile. This is by far the rockiest and the hardest track. This is where the serious off-roaders bring their little, MTVs or motorbikes. and you hear them buzzing at night time. They ride mostly at night for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, another surprising find I have here is bamboo. We have a very large bamboo groves. Not like the Asian bamboo, by the way. I don't think it's strong or it's large. But we're coming into the bamboo grove now, ahead of us. It's quite nice. When you see something exotic, the dogs obviously don't give a flying shit. In fact, talking of shit, they haven't done shit this morning. I left the door open, so perhaps they've done shit already. Reed's going to be happy. Oh, bamboo groves. They've been cut down a little bit. They've been fire managed by somebody, as you can see here, and along there. In the summertime, height of summer, bamboo all around this curve. But never mind. Yeah, so we're on the second section of our figure of 8, just coming around the bend. Once we hit the middle, we'll start ascend up out of the valley. There's a tunnel there which I'm going to investigate one day when I'm brave enough. And as you can see up there is a highway fences, or whatever they're called. Anyway, it's good to see the back of this valley. It is very, very chilly and really nice. Amber's caught up again, of course. Let me sort her out. Come on, Amber. That's it. Hades is finally doing a pee. Bless them, they're very good. They don't poop in the house, which is to be expected, because otherwise they'd be in trouble. And in the winter, when it's cold, I don't know, but in the summer, basically it's the same thing. To protect them against the heat, we shut the doors. Okay. Let's just take a quick pause on that. You can't see it. There's a snake trail there. That's a brown snake, which is dangerous. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on the dogs. Brown snake trails are straight. They go all the way, coming all the way up here, and it's ending here. So we're hitting hard ground. So I'm hoping the snake's gone in. If the snake sees me, it will just hide anyway, which is good. However, if Amber sees a snake, it's going to be World War III, because she loves to attack them. Anyway, I know I've broken my school of thought, and a younger Keith would probably remember exactly what we were talking about, but this one can't remember a fucking thing. So hopefully it'll come back to me in a different part of the discussion. Anyway, this is where we went up initially did one figure of 8. We came all the way around and back down here. So that's the bottom part of the 8. The top part of the 8 we've done half already and there's Amber doing a poo. Bless her. There you go. I have evidence that she can poo. She does a very strange poo, so obviously she does the poo of an abused dog, which basically means whenever she stops to have a poo, she's even getting pulled along or somebody giving her a beating. I don't do that. I let her, I respect the fact that she needs to poo, but I think it's too late now. It's ingrained in her psyche that whenever she craps, she has to do it very sheepishly, and she keep walking so she doesn't get beaten. So basically she poos like a horse. Strangely enough, might it be the same reason why the horses poop that way as well? Probably not. But those of you naive people who think taming a horse is not a violent process are severely wrong, and we need to rethink. Okay, so at figure of 8. Top section is in good swing. We're just about to complete it, at which point we're going to ascend out of the valley and we're going to the middle ground, which is not so bumpy and rocky, thankfully. It's not great. High ground's the best, and it also completes the first phase of the walk. And the doggies are still having a little mooch about. They're not suffering. For those of you who think, oh, why is he making his dog suffer? They're enjoying their walk. It's not hot enough yet, and the ground isn't burning their feet. In the afternoons, I'll take them for another walk. It's very, very much, it's drastically shorter. There's my footprints. It's drastically shorter. And it stays in the shade because I don't want to hurt my doggies. Alrighty. Now we've finished our figure of 8. There is the intersection there. We went all the way around. And now we're going to walk back up the hill. This is never fun. Especially if it's worse fun when you're narrating. And you can start feeling the heat of the day back as you reach, well, not quite yet, but as you can get about halfway up this hill, you can start feeling the heat kick in and the humidity, which you don't feel in the valley. Which is very cool. As in, cool as in, whoa, that is cool, man. Not as in, oh, physically cool, because it's not. It's actually the opposite. It's hot. Yeah, Amber's always on the prowl for lizards. Holy crap. This is harsh. Man of my age. Anyway, they're coming up to the top. In a little while, seems like forever. Probably time-wise, only a couple of minutes. For me, this is the hardest part of the walk. The second hardest part will come up at the end of phase 3 of my 4-phase walk. There you go. That's the middle ground that we're going to take now. Yeah, no footprints. No one ever comes to the low ground or into the valley unless they're dumping crap. God damn them. Anyway, let's have a look. Now tracks are more relevant here. But this is middle ground. It's more easily accessible for walkers. And this direction goes straight into the sun. So I flip my hat around so the visor is down and we can continue. Ooh. Dogs are there as normal, I'm just doing their walkies. Yeah, so this is a much friendlier walk on the feet and the legs. So this is a bit of a rest section here, which is the middle ground. So basically there's 3 tiers. 1, 2, 3. The first tier, which is the valley, is down there. Those are the tracks we made, those are the tracks we walked around, come back to the middle tier, and we have a top tier, which is up there, which is where we will start in our phase 3 walk. Like just a case of being a little bit patient now. Doing a walk, I feel my time. I can't have headphones on because I've got to keep an ear up for the dogs. Distance wise, we've done 1.46 of a mile, or nearly 1.5 miles. It is a bit louder up here actually because it's direct earshot to the highway. As you can see, recycling vehicles driving past this time of morning is very busy, people going to work. Check out the situation of the tracks. Yeah, I can see some unfamiliar tracks. Secret to being a tracker, guys, and especially someone who does it on a regular basis. Oh, there's another track there. You're gonna have to. Is that you should be aware of your own tracks, especially if you're doing the same walk. So I've seen some new tracks. They're big tracks. They look like they're trainers. The weight is not distributed evenly, so I don't think they were walking. I think a jogger came past. Let's see if we can find another one. Ah, yes, there's another one there. So you can see he's dagging at the front and it's Lutz at the back, with a bit of a curve. So I think he's a jogger. He's got big feet as well, so it's a geezer. They're wide. Probably a fitness guy. Let's see if we can find any more tracks. Those tracks of the jogger are still continuing here, there, looks all over the place. And the other thing that makes me think he was jogging is that from a walking point of view, his tracks are far apart. So his track here, his next track is there. So he was in flight between footsteps, which indicates running or jogging. Okay. What else have we seen? There's a lot of bike tracks around here, motorbikes. You do hear them at night. It's the perfect place for them to zip around. I always say it's down to look at in the morning for any injured kids, so I can go through their pockets and nick anything of value they have, and then step on their heads. No, I don't. I look around to see if I can help someone. Okay. Pine cones everywhere. Don't know what that means. Didn't think pine cones would drop until autumn time, but they've started dropping. Don't know if it's the wind or whether it's the heat. Maybe the heat is a bit too much for the pine trees, but they don't seem very brown, as in burnt up. There's a few that have some brown sections, but anyway. Oh, the jogger came this way, just past one of his tracks, another one there. Alright, that's interesting. It's another very small track. It's a tiny shoe as well, and it's a Reebok. You're thinking, how does it know it's a Reebok? Because my trainer's a Reebok and it's got the same tread. So I'm making that assumption. You know what I was saying earlier about assumptions? Make an ass out of you, an umption. Anyway, that's the assumption. Don't know whether that's a rogue track. I'll have to look for more of those. I haven't seen any since then. There is an old lady who lives in a chute. No, there's an old lady, a German lady actually. I've seen her once or twice. She comes in through the Mandres, through that side of the village. And she does do walks here in the morning. I'm not sure if she still comes, whether even she's still alive. However, I would hazard a guess that was either one of her tracks that somehow got preserved by some sort of freak process, or that she has walked. I'm looking for any other tracks from her. I can't see. You can see quite well that the jogger's tracks are still there. He's running around. Yeah. But those small tracks seem to have gone missing. There you go. I never said I was good at tracking. Alright, let's go and see the bunnies. And the valley of rubbish. You can see how disgusting us human beings are. Still on phase 2, by the way. I'll show you once we came out of the valley and turned back, we started phase 2. So this is now phase 2 of the walk of 4 phases. I'm coming up to another half-decent mandra. I'm calling them by their real names because I've got no real reference in English what they are. Allotments, doubt it, because they're not used for vegetables. But anyway, coming up to another really cool allotment. Oh, Hades is pulling a lot today. Hades, hey, stop it, calm down. Getting excited because I'm talking. Anyway, yeah, good girl, Amber. Yeah, this guy's one's quite cool as well. he's decided that he's going to fence a massive section off and breed rabbits. Can't see the bastards because they're far too hidden. And sometimes when I'm walking the dogs very early, I get to see him. And behind that, he's got all of his hunting dogs. So if I could introduce you to that view, that first section there is all bunnies, and behind him is all hunting dogs. And it's cruel if I take the dogs there, because the hunting dogs get all rolled up. Yeah, here you go. They've started to get all rolled up when they don't upset them. And here is what I was saying earlier, the reason why the human being is the most disgusting animal in the world. It must be what it smells like when you walk into a hoarder's house. But it's a valley full of shit, basically, full of crap. Not only that, it's human stuff that's been dumped. And it's such a shame. It's a shame to see. Yep. Hopefully you can see it all down there. It's wrong. Very wrong. But anyway, it's been done. I'll look around to see if there's anything salvageable, because I am a terrible hoarder myself. Alright, so we have a situation here. The dogs are all bunged up somehow. Yeah. Amber's found something she wants to roll around in. Hades is all caught up. Right, he's sorted. And he's caught up in Amber's stuff. And she's with, there you go, look, there's a dead bird in there. Amber, come here. Very inquisitive. If I stop for 2 seconds, they're all over the fucking place. You know, getting caught up. Oh, there's Amber doing a pee. Oh, it's a shame it's not a longer one. It's so funny. She got such a funny pee as well. I think all of her bodily functions are affected by her earlier life. Get up, get up. She's rubbing herself on a bit of dead bird. Oh, why dogs do that. Yeah, she's doing it again. Look at her, she's gone mad. Amber, stop it. Now I can tell you exactly why she's doing that. There are people who live literally outside. They're like the hillbillies. Toothless, buck-tooth individuals who just live off the land. And that's their form of security. I've stumbled across on the land once when I first started walking the dogs. You can see. Anyway, yeah, see, it's starting to turn blue. That means the sun's starting to come up and establish itself and reflect in the sky and the sea, which is very pretty. Anyway, still on phase 3, by the way. No, phase 2. Now we're going to descend this side of the valley. I want to show you the valley of shit, which I find quite disappointing, but I have a more pragmatic approach to life rather than be disgusted maybe it's tolerance. I don't think I'm particularly tolerant, but anyway. We'll head back around. Oh, this always scares me. Okay. Still on phase 2. The end of phase 2 is a bit like a 2-pronged fork, or one that we used to eat sweets. That was the first prong. I do it for the views, and obviously to make up the distance and make up the steps for my pedometer. Where we're now, we're 1.8 miles. This walk is going to be a 3-mile walk. Anyway, hope you've realised that this second section, apart from having to untangle the dogs, is certainly not as rocky or as moving, as unsettled as the valley section. Having said that, how it's going to come out in video, I really have no idea, but we shall see that. So anyway, as I said, phase 2 is like a fork. It goes up and it goes like this into 2 prongs. So it came around here, up the first prong, then we're coming back down around into the second prong now. And then once we've done the second prong, we will start phase 3. I'm very OCD, by the way. I've got new car tracks here today. What is today? Friday. So yesterday was Thursday. Yeah, car tracks on this section here will be very high volume of car tracks, which I'll explain why. But first, let's go to the phase 2 second prong, get that out of the way, and I can show you my village. Again, we're coming up to another mandra, which I don't want. There's been a lot of traffic here since yesterday, so it's like farmers have been turning on their water to feed their crops. This area here, by the way, is riddled with wells.
Average pace 21 minutes 43 seconds per mile. Duration 43 minutes 23 seconds. You've completed 2 miles.
We completed 2 miles.
Heart rate 103 beats per minute.
There you go. I'm not going to get any closer because I don't want to disrupt the dogs. Anyway, not my dogs. Dogs, hunting dogs. This is where hunters keep their dogs as well. There's the village. Hopefully you can see that okay. Hey, come on. Stop it. You guys are pissing me off. Alright, that's the second prong to the 2-prong fork of phase 2. Once we pass the oasis, we'll start on phase 3, which is the easiest part. It is dangerous, mind you, but it's the easiest. That used to be a route I took up there, which I don't take anymore because there's too many wild animals, I'm afraid. This is still sort of semi-countryside, so we have ibexes, which are like little fawns or little deers. We have wild boars. Out there as well. We've got a lot of reptile critters as well, or lizards. Never seen, apparently we have goats, but I've never seen the goats. Well, obviously we've spoken about them before. We've got the snakes. And we've got those rams. I can't remember what they're called now, but they're unique to Cyprus. Like, granted, there's not that many at the moment because they will get murdered and cooked by overzealous Greekos. There you go. That's the oasis. I call it the oasis. It's a bit more like a bushy roundabout. And now we're starting phase 3, which is a long sweeping phase. It's the most car-friendly path through the Mandres, so it tends to be used by cars very often, not very rarely, very often. Hence, it's very smooth, very packed. It's a nice, easy walk. One thing I need to keep an eye out for is, obviously, cars and speeding idiots, speeding women who are late to drop their kids off at school. I get that sometimes in the morning. Just barely missing my dogs, just barely missing me. Get people rushing to get to work and they're late and they think they take a shortcut through the Mandres to get onto the highway. And things like this brow here on the hill are quite dangerous because cars obviously travel at a fair speed compared to walking. And by the time you get close to the brow, there's another car coming this way. It's chaos, I tell you. Which is why I try to avoid my walk in this direction, in an easterly direction. I always come westerly down this way towards the southerly towards the sea, because it is westerly. I was right, I apologize. I always come westerly along here because in the morning, easterly, which is obviously the opposite direction, is where the cars are always rushing to get to, because that's where the highway is. Well, looks like the jogger didn't take this path, by the way. The jogger whose footprints we were following on the middle ground. It looks like he took the middle ground and exited the Mandres behind me near the rabbit farm. And as I say, there's exits all around these Mandres. They're not unique to anyone or not owned by anyone. Anyone could just take a walk through there, drive through there. It's like a little communal bit of land. But there is cut intersections where people do have formal ownership and can do what they want on that land. Firstly, I would build a little cabin and just use it to get away from everything. That would be my dream come true. Come build a little campfire, or even just an electric one, I don't care. I know it's a lot of fear about campfires in Cyprus. And just chill out of an evening with my missus or with friends. Okay, so point of interest I've lost track. Beehives. Here they are. Beehives everywhere. Whoever's got this mandra here, there's a little shack there behind that tree. Is a beekeeper, God bless him. And he keeps bees. And that's the evidence. And the proof, which I think will hold up in court, unless he's keeping loads of very small Filipinese people prisoner. But there you go on that side as well. More beehives. Oh, I've got the farts. So let's see now. Let's see what the ground, let's see what our environment has got to tell us from a point of view of tracking. Nothing really. It's a bit boring today. Such a shame. We do sometimes see black whipping snake tracks. They go along. You can tell the difference between those tracks I showed you in the valley that go like this, are brown snake, and they literally just travel ahead. Where a whipping snake goes much like that, and sometimes you see tracks going across the road from one bush to another because they like to stay in the cool, and they are wiggly tracks. So you can identify what the snake is just by the tracks. All right, this is the intersection. You can see the 3 phases. That's coming in with phase 1. Starting phase 2 down into the valley. Coming back up. That's 3. There. Come around, and that's the 3rd phase. 4th phase. I've miscounted. No, that's the whole of that is phase 1. Then we have phase 2. Then we have phase 3, and phase 4 is to come. Alright, if you remember earlier, I was saying climbing out of the valley was quite hard. One of the hardest, well, the hardest, and it is. This is another section I find very hard. This is what I call Manzana. In fact, there's a famous bend in one of the racetracks in Europe where not only it's a bend, it's a drop as well. It's quite dangerous for drivers, apparently. And this does the same thing. Comes over there, it bends, and it also drops. And it's an S shape. And it comes around, it turns around there. So it's at speed. I would think, not that I would do it, but at speed, I would think this is quite a precarious drive. If I were to drive it, of course, I would be very slow and careful. Unfortunately, can't say that for the rest of the idiots in this village, but there you go. I shall find them. I shall root them out. I shall have stern words with them. And if they continue their actions, I will gut them like a fish. And if you don't listen, then to hell with you. Here you go. We're at the closest section to the highway, yeah, by the way. Amber, stop it. She's chasing lizards. So this field last year is full of potatoes. This is also a red field. You can't see it because it's got like a haze of, I don't know, grass maybe, whatever it is. But it's obviously been rested because the potatoes have been growing in the field next to it this year. Which we'll get to in a second. They're very big fields. And it's also quite alarming how quickly they grow in this soil. This red soil is very, very rich in stuff. Yeah, see, this has been rested for this year, maybe for this cycle, I don't know. And that's the one that was active over there. I hope this video comes out well. I've put my heart and soul in it. I hope it's not too rocky, not too Blair Witchy. Dogs are still doing this thing. Amber's attacking every lizard she sees. Pulling in line because we're coming to the road now to start our phase 4. Multi-phase walk. Gosh, this is tiring. It's tiring stuff. And there you go. That's the other field. That's how I fell in love with poor little Amber. When I saw her, she was digging around in this field. You know what she was digging for, poor thing? She was digging for raw potatoes. And she was digging them the ones that were left over by the pickers. And she was surviving on those. Oh, and obviously it looks like eating lizards as well. She was living in that bush. At some point she would have been caught by animal control and put to death. I couldn't have that. I just felt sorry for her. And God damn it, why can't I have a pet in the house that loves me? Hades isn't mine, he's my son's. He's lazy as fuck. Let's not even talk about the cats. Seriously, let's just not talk about the cats. I deserve a pet. I deserve an animal that loves me and I can pour some loving on. There's always a lot of traffic here, by the way. There's always a lot of car tracks and truck tracks. There's the farmers, and they bring tractors here to plough the earth. It's a very stark change in the colour. You get the red soil, and then the untilled, which is just like grey with grey grass. Anyway, irrigation pipes. We're coming up to the end of phase 3. We're going to start our last phase of the walk, which is more urban than country. What I like to do here, we've got come back dogs, come on, there we go. They can pull back. So just as a brief introduction to the last phase of the walk, we're going to walk across the road past the soccer academy. Hey. Hey, come on. Okay, so some little press decided they're going to walk 15 dogs. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to be walking past the soccer academy through the dump yard, which is the village council dump yard. We're going to skim the surface of the orchards. The orchards is a very pretty walk. I do that in the autumn because of all the fruit. It's gorgeous. A lot of apple trees, lemon trees, orange trees, fig trees. Well, the fig trees are started now. It's all seasonal. But the oranges and lemons are around the times of the bells of St. Clements. So yeah, this is like a industrial estate here. And here is like a little, it's called a Sports and Soccer Academy. I don't quite know what that means. But they have an AstroTurf football ground. It's right next to the gym, so there's obviously some sort of fitness thing going on here. I never see it active, but then again, I think the weekend stuff goes on here. They have parties, I've seen it with bouncy castles. So anyway, Hades again. We've now descended into the pits of hell, the rubbish dump. This is for the village. People have the right to come whenever they like and dump their rubbish. And as strange as it may seem, this has been cleaned. Normally the rubbish comes up as far as those blocks, and they come maybe once a month. I don't know how long the period is, and they come and they clear it out, making it ready for the next lot of rubbish. And I've been pulled into the cleared out section, which means I have to go back because there isn't any. There's no exit in the cleared out section. So anyway, I have to walk around the blocks because the blocks are the perimeter. There you go. Remember that. The blocks are the perimeter. So yeah, this whole area here really is a rubbish tip and council tip. So council keep all their materials, which is handy when they come and nick some blocks. No one can say nothing. I'm in with the council boys anyway. Well, I think I am. I'm quite friendly with them. They'll give you whatever I ask for anyway. We might see the soldier. We might see the old soldier, which would be nice if we do. The old soldier's a big old German Shepherd who lives in this tip. Very, very beautiful and attractive looking dog, by the way. He's a gorgeous dog. There you go. So this is the dump yard. Continuing around. Let's see if we can see the old warrior. Bless him. The way I, from what I can see of that dog is, he's deaf. He's also blind. Well, limited vision. He's obviously been through wars, living in Cyprus. Animals are not treated very well in this country, I'm afraid. And I often see him in that yard. I think someone takes pity on him and gives him some food and gives him a chance to sit in his yard. But he's not there today. Shame. Anyway, so this is junkyard continuing. This is where people come and dump. There's an old couch. Obviously, using the powers of deduction, since it was an old couch that at some point went saggy. They put some blocks there. An old desk. Actually, I need a desk. Keep meaning to get rid of my desk. Someone obviously throw away some old kiddie stuff. What have they done here? I don't take it personally, but that's my walk. Anyway, let's see how it tops out. So this is the other. It's the outskirts of the dump where people still obviously can't be asked to go in, so just drop stuff off here or throw stuff away here. And this side, which is a stark contrast, is where all of the orchards start. These are the village orchards. These are olive trees here. You see they've got little olives on them. Oh, really sweet. Once picking season starts, I won't be doing this route because it's going to be full of little Indian people picking fruit. So, lots of olive groves here. Down there, you can see those are all fruit trees, oranges and lemons. There you go, chicken farm. I thought I'd surprise you with the chicken farm. The farmer here who has chicken farm. Chickens. Dogs always like to bully the chickens. Stop it. Yeah, I mentioned earlier, it is fig season at the moment. And I shouldn't do, but I always nick a couple of figs from this tree. If I can find them, that is. They don't seem to be getting picked, so. Anyway, what difference can there be? 1 or 2 figs going missing. No. There you go, there's not that many figs. Not a lot to take. Come on. Oh, there's a second tree here. To pick a fig, you have to give it a little squeeze. It's got to be a little bit soft to the touch. Not big enough to pick and eat straight away. It's a shame. One up there, possibility. Oh no, it's hard as rock. Go to the backup fig tree. You don't like to pick from because it's not as nice. Ah, there you go. Perfect fig. There we go. We've got 4 figs. Yeah. So, fig. That one's all good. It's too young. This one, I would say, is poppable. So you do is bite the top off. Make sure it's red inside, and it is. No insect holes.
Average pace 22 minutes 4 seconds per mile.
Straight in the mouth.
Duration, 1 hour 5 minutes 26 seconds. You've completed 3 miles. Heart rate 106 beats per minute.
Okay, you've completed 3 miles. And there's another one from the first tree. That looks good. That is so delicious. I don't know what it is about that first tree, but my God, the figs are so nice. Ironically, the tree next to it, same tree, I guess, not as nice. I don't know how that works. It's my last fig of the day. Well, my last stolen fig. I'll go out and buy some later. Look, nice and clean, red on the inside. Pop it. Technically I'm fasting at the moment, but surely a couple of figs picked directly off of a tree, I'm not going to break the fast, are they? Hey, come back you. Shut up, come here. Oh, fuckers all manked up. There we go. Need to untangle them because when they come to the road now, towards the end of 4th phase, Okay, we'll walk from down there, walk up into the valleys. Yeah, this is another exit that comes around here. So, now, downhill, back home. Oh. All these big old houses. I don't allow them to get all excited going for a walk. They're coming back. No way. Coming back, they show me some respect. I walk them. They need to cool down and stop pulling me. If they do pull, they'll get corrected. Savagely. Fuck you, RSPCA. Dog's life, and that's how a dog gets treated. Hey, stop it. Not as if I'd love them less. If I didn't love them at all, I'd show them, I'd give them no discipline. But this is my only discipline. On the way back from the walk, they show me the respect. I've walked them, taken them on a long walk, they can do whatever they like. Coming back, they don't pull. You don't pull, do you, Hades? Good boy. Oh, there's my bush, my red and white bush at the end of the road there. Well, not right at the end of the road. That's my bush anyway. As soon as I see that, I know I'm home. As soon as I see that bougainvillea. Remember, coming to the end of phase 4 now. It's been a long one, long walk. See, I break them down into phases because I can then manage my paces. I can pace myself for the day. As it's Friday and it's going to be a sedentary day, I'm going to be stuck at home on my desk. I've taken for a long walk. If it was a weekend or a day off, I knew I was going out. It may just be phase 1 and 2, or maybe 1, 2, and 3. So that's how I rationalize breaking it down into phases anyway. And we're home. Leave the dogs alone, leave the cats alone. Come on, little kittens everywhere. Stop it. Leave them be. Hey, come on.